my name is Sharina Chantel, and this is the place where we believe in living to bless and not impress, and where we talk all things faith, life, and entrepreneurship. So this video today is for the woman who is sick and tired of being sick and tired. Like, you are tired of goal setting at this point. Like, there's part of you that wants to get excited, but then there's another part of you that's like discouraged. What's the point? Feeling like you're stuck, you're never seeing progress. It's another year and it's starting to get discouraging at this point. So I'm doing this video with you in mind. Okay, tell me if you're ready. Sorry, I'm so excited because this is something I'm so passionate about. And if you follow me on Instagram, you'll see that I'm talking about goals like throughout the year. And that's because one of the main things is I believe in having multiple checkpoints. Sometimes the only times where we look back and we see how we're doing is New Year's or around our birthday. But if you only have 2 checkpoints, it's very easy to just forget your goals or to get off track or, just end up living on autopilot, So don't worry, if that's you right now, that was you, we're going to make some changes. Before I get into the first thing, I want to share this analogy with you because I feel like this analogy really encompasses how a lot of people do their goals. So imagine you were a coach, okay? And you were a baseball coach and you had a player that came up to you and he said, listen, I only want to play the game if I shoot nothing but home runs. If I get out there and I get a first base or a second base, I'm out. Like, I only do home runs. What would you think about a player like that? Wouldn't you be like, that's crazy. That's not realistic. That's not how life works, son. And yet so many people go into their goals with that analogy. You have an elaborate color-coded plan that looks beautiful on paper. And then you try to implement it and it's just not sustainable. It's not realistic. And it's so easy to want to just give up because it's like, I failed, So what I want to encourage you today is to throw out that perfectionism, throw out that perfect mindset that says it needs to be a perfect plan or else it's not worth doing. Honey, yes, we want home runs. Yes, we're aiming for those laps. But more often than not, it's going to be a base by base play. It's going to be little steps forward. It's going to be progress, and eventually that momentum, you might be getting, 3-4 home runs in a row, but it's going to start with a step. And I don't want you to tap out of the game when you don't do it perfectly. All right. So the first thing is self-awareness. I don't understand why more people don't talk about this because it's so important that you start with self-awareness. You understand who you are, how you're wired. We are different. We are all one of a kind. Our personalities are different, our temperaments, our experiences. So when you are going into creating your goals, I want you to not just do, something generic that you think everyone else is doing, but figure out, okay, what works for you and the way that you're wired. So really get to know yourself. Do, the personality tests and the assessments and even ask yourself, okay, what's worked well in the past? What doesn't work? When are you most productive? What inspires you? What makes you come alive? What excites you? What are the things that you naturally want to rebel against? Think of what motivates you. We are all motivated differently. Some people are motivated by fun. If it's not fun, I don't want to do it. Second thing is it's kind of a mindset shift on how you look at your goals. So sometimes we've been taught to do the SMART goals, and we could be very rigid with our goals, and that doesn't work for everyone. So one thing that you can do is focus on the outcome that you're wanting. So it could be the feeling that you're wanting or the desired outcome. So for example, maybe you're wanting financial freedom, maybe you're wanting to feel more confident. It could be all these different outcomes. And now when it comes to the process and the plan to get there, think of that as an experiment. So think of different things that you're willing to try and do to get to that desired outcome. And then if it fails, it's not that you failed. It's just like, oh, okay, that method's not working for me. Let me experiment and try something else. Then for me, this works so well for me because I'm someone, I love experimenting. I love social experiments. I love having fun. So it allows you to switch it up. So for example, let's say, you want to lose 20 pounds. Let's say your girl, by the way, your girl gained 20 pounds. I don't know where. I don't know where. But my scale said that I gained 20 pounds. Anyway. All right, so let's say it's your goal to lose 20 pounds. Now, rather than being like, okay, this is what's, yes, you want to be specific. Yes, you want to plan. But you can experiment. Be like, okay, I'm going to try this for 2 weeks. And then check in. How's it going? Are you consistent? Are you enjoying it? And if you don't just throw out the whole plan. Just be like, okay, let's try something else. For example, I was doing weekly workouts with my friend. And then at one point I was like, okay, the motivation was wearing out. And I was going to go ahead and do like the scheduled plan for that day. But your girl really wasn't feeling it. And although you don't want your feelings to dictate everything that you do, that's a whole other sermon and video. You also want to be kind to yourself. So that day I put on a video. It was like a dance workout video. And I had so much fun. I was sweating. My body was moving. So I found a different means to get to the same desired outcome. So that's what I mean. Like, be more flexible. Also, remember, there's nothing magical or special about January 1st. So take the pressure off because it just makes no sense to put all this pressure on yourself. If this is something you really want, then there's no end to it. So you want to think, if already you look at your plan and you're like, when do I get to stop? You're already setting yourself up for failure. Think, can I sustain this plan? Can I keep doing it? Or is there already a part of me that's like, when do I get to tap out of this? Something else. Okay, so I talked about this already, but I made them even better. It's my life audit sheet. Often we can overestimate what we can do in a year and we underestimate what we can get done in a month. So something that I love to do and a switch that's been a huge game changer for me is rather than having yearly goals, I do have yearly goals, but I break them down in monthly goals and then I break it down further into daily goals. So I do a top 3 every day. And then I also ask myself, okay, what is it that I can do this month that's in line with what it is that I say that I want? So something that I created, which I'm so excited about, like I just love this tool that I created and it's completely free and it's my life audit sheets. My printer was struggling, okay, so no judgment. But so you can print it out like I did, or you can do it completely on your laptop. I made it digital as well, so you can type in your answers or do the assessment completely online. So pretty much you're able to, at the end of every month or at the end of every quarter, you can go through every area of your life and just assess where you're at. And then you can break down your goals based on, either the area that you're most motivated to change or the area that you feel like if I get this in order, it'll have the biggest ramifications and the biggest catalyst on everything else. So that's what you want to think of when you don't know where to start. And that's another thing. Don't feel like you have to be a brand new person in a day. Who was it? I think it was Taylor Madu. She I'm gonna find it and I'll post it here, but she shared an Instagram post and it cracked me up. I think she shared it last year and she was like, so many of y'all are changing in a day. I can't wait to meet all of you, or something like that. And it's just so funny, but it's so true, So again, take the pressure off yourself. Something I shared too over on my Instagram was like, it's so awesome how God, he created that rhythm every day. It says in his word that his mercies are new every morning. This life could have been one long day. Like maybe we wouldn't have slept. It would have just been go, 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 productivity, no sleep, But he created those rhythms. He created that rhythm of rest. He created that rhythm of the sun setting and then the sun rising. So that fresh start that we love on January 1st, that new beginning, we have that embedded in the very framework of our lives. We have that reset and that new beginning every single day. Every day. So even on those days where it didn't look perfectly or things didn't go as planned, I want with every new day, I want you to have that feeling that it's New Year's, I want you to remember that it's a fresh start. So there's different phases, okay? So I'm going to share all the phases now. So first you have the review and, gain information on your current habits, how you're doing presently, what has worked, what hasn't worked. Then second, this is when we dream. So this is my favorite. This is when you allow yourself to just find a quiet space and just you play your favorite music and then just dream. Ask yourself the questions. For me, I love inviting God into this process. I ask God, his word says there are good things that he's prepared in advance for us to do. So I ask God, I'm like, God, what are the things that you've dreamt of doing in and through me? What are the things that you've uniquely wired me to solve, and this is for you too. So it's inviting God in that process and dreaming, close your eyes. We have an imagination. Have you ever stopped to just think of like how amazing the fact that you can dream up thoughts that haven't happened yet? Everything you see that's physical, like was first intangible before it became tangible. Someone thought of it before it came to be, So close your eyes and let your imagination run wild. Ask yourself, what is it that you desire? What do you picture? What's the kind of life that you would be proud of? Ask yourself these questions. Allow yourself to dream. For me, I love also printing out visuals and having them before me. It helps you to focus and have a clear vision of where you're heading, and then take the necessary steps and actions in line with those things and having those visual reminders, because out of sight, out of mind is a real thing. Then the third, you want to plan. You want to have a method of how you're going to get there. What steps are you going to take in line with that? Also, put it on your calendar. I'm telling you, our calendars are one of the most underutilized tools that we have. Make sure your days, the way you're spending your time, reflects the goals that you have for yourself. Put it on the calendar and respect it. There's so much power in just saying, at this day and this time, this is what I'm doing, and then protecting it. Mind you, I love spontaneity, all of that. So I'll create room for that too. But like I said, once you're aware of yourself, you can create a calendar that reflects the way that you're wired. Your calendar doesn't have to look like anyone else's. You're in control of it. All right, so that wraps up my top tips and my encouragement for the girl who might be sick and tired of goal setting. I hope that this is encouraging to you. I hope it gives you some practical tools that you can put in place and even new lenses by which you can see goal setting and what it is that you want this year. So don't forget to get your life audit sheets. I will put the link down below. It's www.shrinashantelshares.com/life audit. And again, if you want to be in the loop concerning all videos, faith, life, and entrepreneurship, be sure to subscribe down below. Also, let me know in the comments what your goal is for January 2021. I would love to encourage you in your goals, and I'll see you in the next video. Stay blessed. Mwah.